All right, everybody, Harry here. So today we're gonna be talking about something that's pretty fun and a little bit different. So we're gonna be talking about the comeback of Digimon as a franchise. So if anyone that doesn't really know, Digimon is owned by Bandai Namco, same people that make Tekken. They own Gundam. They own Dragon Ball Z. Like they own a lot of the big franchises. So Digimon was pretty much set up in the world as a counterintuitive to Pokemon when Pokemon came out in the 90s. Now, not many people, like a lot of people were like, oh, it's either Pokemon or Digimon and all this, but Digimon is completely different. First of all, Digimon has endings, and it's more serious, it's more adult based. And it's pretty much the way it all happened in the West and pretty much the rest of the world was that Digimon came out around the same time as Pokemon because Bandai planned that when they saw that Pokemon was very successful and had the exact same features. So you had a cartoon series, you had trading cards, and the trading cards had nice little gimmicks like gold borders for rares and stuff like this. They also had your typical toys, they had your video games and all of that. But unlike Pokemon, which was available on the Game Boy, the handhelds, and it was very accessible, Digimon came out on the PlayStation, and it was a 3D modeled game. And they had three original games, Digimon 1, 2, and 3. And they also had a couple little spin-offs, like they had the Digimon trading card game and all of that. But for the most part, Digimon, it rose and it went down. Like a lot of people liked it, and they just grew up and moved on. So for the cartoons, it pretty much went Digimon, Season 2, which the show's called Digimon Adventure in Japan, but we never really picked that up and we just called it Digimon. So this was pretty much Digimon Season 1, this is Digimon Season 2, and then they had the third season, and they also had a Digimon movie, and that's pretty much when everything like burned out. So you pretty much had up until the third season, up to the first movie, you had technically three major games, and then you had trading cards, and you had toys, and then Digimon just kind of disappeared. That's it. And it never really disappeared. Like, it just became more legally inaccessible because Digimon was brought over by Fox, and Fox sold it to Disney. So all of a sudden, Digimon went from Fox to Disney, and then Disney, they kind of didn't want it. It kind of feels like so they didn't really put too much heart into it. So you also had seasons 4 and 5. They just kind of just got released with little to no advertisement, little to no fanfare. It kind of had toys. It didn't really have cards. It didn't really have video games. Like Bandai just stopped caring. And if you see any of my previous videos, you know that I'm not a fan of Bandai Namco. They are notorious for just like dropping the ball on everything. And Digimon's a very good example of that. So they had a franchise with a pretty established fan base. They had a lot of lucrative deals. They had a lot of stuff, and Bandai just stopped caring. And they also made some very poor business decisions. Like when Disney lost the rights to Digimon, they didn't really bother trying to like shop around. So it's like there's a couple seasons we never really got. And the toys kind of stopped coming, and the cards kind of stopped coming. Like it was just a whole mess. But Bandai Namco was known for this in the 2000s and 2010s, so it wasn't too shocking that they did. Now, what was really shocking was that Bandai Japan didn't give up on Digimon. And when everything started to fizzle and burn over there, they came out with these new movies to respark the flame. And it was called Digimon Tri. Digimon Tri, TRI, is a new series of movies which pick up after season 2, and it gives a definite ending to the original Digimon characters. So all these people pretty much get an ending. And it pretty much, it had some of the season 2 people in it, but it wasn't like as like about them. But we'll get into that in a moment. So when they did Digimon Tri actually blew up. People loved it because it was more adult than the original series. So you literally felt like you grew up with it. And me personally, I kind of had mixed feelings about Try because I love the first three movies, and then it kind of like gets a little repetitive, and then it has a nice ending. So it's like I like the bulk of it, but not the middle of it, kind of thing. And when they did Digimon Try, things started picking up again, and then they started importing Digimon games into the West again, which never really, it hasn't really happened since then. Like Bandai is so bad at this kind of stuff that we would like occasionally not get them, or they'll have little to no advertisement. Like the game would drop, and like all of a sudden it's a $200 game because Bandai only released like 200 copies or something silly like that. Well, around Try, they started like importing stuff again because all of a sudden they realized they have fans in the West again. But now they were kind of like doing it differently because now, since that happened, the Japanese companies have a bigger footprint in the US. Because this is all after the fame of Dragon Ball Z and all that. So they actually were able to put more effort into it and more heart into it. So we started seeing stuff like Digimon Cyber Sleuth, which is a very nice callback to some of the old Digimon games. And even my personal favorite, Digimon Survive, which is a horror game. Horror game. Yeah, this is a horror game. And crazy fun fact, the game screen has all the characters on it. And as the game progresses and they die, the characters disappear from the title screen. So I was like, ooh, this is different. But of course, they also did things. They brought back a new Digimon card game. And it's a very nice card game. It's I tried playing it for a little bit. It's pretty fun. And if you compare them to the older cards, like it's very easy to tell the difference. And they, for the most part, they do kind of fit in. Like if you look at the art style on this card, for example, and then you look at the art style on this card, the art styles are mostly similar. So it does fit nicely next to each other. So it's really interesting to see that Bandai's actually trying to bring back Digimon. And the reason why I'm making this video is that they announced another Digimon game that we're actually going to get, which is pretty awesome that they're actually doing this again. Because Survive came out a couple years ago. Survive was, oh Lord, I can't even see on the back of this thing. I'd say 2 years ago, possibly. Pretty sure it's 2 years ago that this game came out. So the fact that we're getting another Digimon game consecutively and there's nothing in between, and they had another Digimon movie similar to Try, which was the ending for these people from the season 2 series, which is cool because now we're getting more Digimon stuff. Well, everybody, definitely check it out. They got some pretty awesome Digimon stuff on the horizon, and I would always recommend it. I'm pretty much a fan of it, but it's hit or miss because some series are good and some series are bad. So I always recommend checking it out because Digimon's back. We're back and we can finally enjoy being Digimon fans all over again.